Shadow, it's me, the devil. I'm here to convince you to do sin.
This is for Popeye, you old colonel son of a bitch.
Chainsaw Man!
Oh, the spontaneity continues here. What the fuck, Red? I hate that.
Too bad. I don't owe you anything. Where's the contract? Show it to me. You can't, because there isn't one.
I'm about to go make a contract.
It doesn't mean anything if you don't make me sign it.
So with the Riz Devil, because Denji's got it.
Ew. Listen, I thought we agreed. If there was a contract, it would have been in there to not use the word Riz. Okay. Does this make me a boomer? Yes. Okay. But listen,
the word Riz didn't exist yet.
I like to think that I'm consistent because I have vivid memories of being in high school and hating the word swag back when swag was the word. Okay. That's how old I am, folks. I was an OG swagger. I had the swag. No, I did not, actually. I was like
you really did not.
Whoa! Where's this coming from? Swagless? Do I need to pull up your school shooter ass looking photos from 2020 or 2012? I'm sorry. This guy made the biggest glow up. He went from like school shooter incel looking to like full on like I'm gonna peg you. I'm a transgender female and I'm gonna peg you and I'm doming you and I have colored hair and pronouns.
Where's this person? Please, mommy.
You know, I have this thought about you a lot, Vex. The people that grew up like you did have two pathways in which they can go down. One is very bad and one is much better. And you went down the better. I'm proud of you because you could have.
You're the next Andrew Tate.
Oh yeah, no, you had a choice between being what you are now, a flamingly gay, transgender, homosexual, just all the pronouns, all the adjectives, or an Andrew Tate superfan who is committing incel terror. So I'm proud of you, buddy. I really am.
Oh man. So just keeping on this nice little derailed tangent at the start of the video.
Well, that's what we did. At least 6 minutes, right?
Right. Like we got a timer over there, and Chimera has a gun to my head. Okay.
Can we, if we wish hard enough, can we bring our mascot back to life?
I get butt.
If y'all want to, I was just gonna say, if y'all want to know how the mascot fits into the lore, she's just our little willing, consensual sex slave. She loves it. She loves it. Because we created her that way. Okay, I gotta stop.
It's starting to sound like a fucking isekai.
No, we actually run an illegal cam girl operation with her, just like Andrew Tate.
Hey, where's my cut from this, Red?
It's where you know what? I was gonna make a joke about how you never paid me with the Hisoka video, but you did. So.
I was gonna say I got receipts for that and fucking PayPal.
That was, yeah. Either way,
no. What's
Andrew
the hardest?
Aside,
what's the hardest you've ever come?
Oh my God, Vex! I feel like we're forcing this.
No, I don't know if you saw it when we were filming the skit that was on last week's video. At this point, or this week's video. Jesus Christ, I'm in the future here. On this video, we.
You're about to tell me you came while I handcuffed you?
No.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna tell you this, Red, but I did come very hard. Dude, if I made you, honestly, I wouldn't even be mad or weirded out. I'd like, part of me would be like, damn, I made Vex come. Fuck yeah.
Well, I do like being tied up.
Anyway, so where are you going with this? So we can.
So like 3 feet to the left of where you handcuffed me, I bought a Hitachi wand.
Proud of you, buddy. All right, we're not going to continue this one. It's a little too derailed for me. But if you want to know my answer, just know that right now my right hand smells like gasoline and my left hand smells like cum, and I'm not gonna go into.
What the fuck?
Okay, I'll tell you. So I got home. My gas tank was on E, but like I only get to see Allie for like 10 minutes before she has to go to work, and so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna come home. Quickie with Allie, and then really quickly go and get gas because I was real nervous about my car. So it was like fumes, brother. So I just like ran out, cum soaked.
You fucking pumped gas.
Yeah.
After.
Yeah, remember I said I was going to the gym? Was a lie. But I have been going to the gym. That's real.
I'm not even mad that was a lie. At this
I
point.
have been going to the gym more. It was just too much to explain.
I would have taken either as a valid response if you were like, "Hey, Vex, I need to go plow my girlfriend before we film because I only have 10 minutes." I'll be like, "Blessing granted, mashallah, brother."
Nothing better than like imagining. You know what? We need to stop. I feel bad for. Listen, we believe in you. Go out and get that whatever you want, but like consensually and
I
cool person.
have
go out and win the heart of thy fair maiden. Okay, Chainsaw Man. Everybody, shut the fuck up. No, we have to improve ourselves.
I actually have a time limit today, so we do need to get this video on.
All right. So do you have the chapter up?
I do.
Okay. So, do we want to start with Penguin X Denji, the new ship?
Yes. Penguin-kun. If Denji survived, I demand he get to keep the penguin.
Yeah, this is bullshit. I'm upset. I love the just visually this chapter is incredible. Like we should really talk about boy, girl, other, relax. Okay, dude. Let me fucking. So first of all, love the way that I can just see all of this like in the anime. I fucking love it. So first of all, love the way the penguin like comes to him. So like his head's up against the glass. He sees the penguin kind of swimming among all the dead fish, which makes sense. The penguins would live longer than like the fish. But they're probably thriving. They're eating all that fish.
Right.
But anyway, they're fat fuck penguin. So anyway, he sees it swimming up, right? And like, so he looks up, it's through the glass in the water, and then fucking aquarium disappears. It's just in his head, raining dead fish around him. Love that already. Just like aesthetically, very weird, very, very just strange. And I love that. Just going on with the visuals and how much I love the visuals of this. Love the aquarium sphere. I always fuck that up.
Sphere.
Yes. Love the aquarium sphere.
It is round, but it is not a ball.
What? No, it's not. It's like a stick with two fish on the end. Which anyway, love that as a weapon, and I love that like I love that it has an effect, right? Like I'm trying to think of how to word this. Like I always get bored in like anime where it's like, ooh, look at my fancy weapon, but it just like amounts to like a different shape. Like I like that it has like you could headcanon.
That's why you like Bankais, right?
Yeah, and Shikais too. I've always loved that. Like they have like a power, right? But like something, I guess as a quick tangent, I've always thought that like it's a weakness in a series if like someone's unique power is just like, I'm trying to think, like if it should have a reason for why it looks the way it looks. Nothing should ever just be like, oh, I made that. Like, okay, perfect example is Ichigo's like post Fullbring Shinigami outfit is fucking stupid. It's like his original Shinigami outfit looked fine, and then post Fullbring, it's like they added it's like a fucking like third grader was like, and then I drew my OC, and he's got a bunch of X's on him because X's are cool. And it's like, okay, what does that add though? You know what I mean?
Right.
If you want more information on this, Super Eye Patch Wolf has a really good video on like how to do a good character design, and like another good example I like to jump to with really good character designs is Senku from Dr. Stone, because like Senku from Dr. Stone is the perfect example of a character design that I would hate if it wasn't done so well. Because on the outset, before you look at the plot, it looks kind of cringe. Like, oh, he's a scientist, so he wrote E = MC² on his outfit. That's kind of stupid. But no, it's actually, they fucking made it work in the plot. And there's a point where he's going insane and like about to kill himself is the implication. And like he gets over that by like, like writing in his own blood E = MC² on his chest to remind him that science can get his, has a solution for everything, right? That's cool, and he keeps it on there. I assume at some point he undoes it with the blood and writes it with something more permanent. But like, I love that, right? So leading on to this, I'm happy that this isn't just like a stick with fish on it, like
right.
Aquarium spirit. Like it seems to have aquarium powers. What?
Return to Monkey.
What are you talking about?
Like when I hear like just a stick with spears on it,
like
the basic
okay.
one.
I was like, fair enough.
Primal.
I was worried you were devolving into just saying words for saying words' sake, which I know you have done in the past. No, but like I like that because at first there's two ways to look at this page 8 to 9 here. because she spears Eternity Devil and he fucking explodes into organs and fish. You could you look at it as he ate a bunch of the fish while hiding in the aquarium, but I like to look at it as that's just what the spear does. Like I like to look, because it is an aquarium spear, right? So I like to look at it as she stabs him in the chest and then infinite fucking everything that's in an aquarium just explodes out of his fucking. I love that.
That's kind of like what I was thinking too when I saw that. It was just like a visual for representation of that. Like, I'm exploding you with fish because this is an aquarium spear.
But not just visual representation, because that would imply that it's not actually happening and it's metaphorical.
Right.
You can see in the next page, fish are raining around. Yeah.
It's an actual effect from it.
It's fucking cool. I love that.
I don't know if you can make that the thumbnail, but I would love if you made that the thumbnail.
Maybe I might be able to. I'll look around. Either that, or I might do the one where she's about to fight him. Where it's her leaning. Pages 2 and 3.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking would end up being the thumbnail. But if you can make the actual exploding fish, that would be fucking awesome.
So a general rule for good thumbnails is you want it to be actually, at least in my mind, you want it to be kind of simple, clean, not very messy. And
so that is the epitome of messy.
It's a touch messy. Yeah, you want people to know what they're seeing at a glance. Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to talk about?
Chainsaw Man, it works either way because you're getting in this series just batshit insanity, and so if you go on YouTube looking for that, they're talking about this fight here.
Another cool thing to talk about is Denji's character development. I mean, Fujimoto. Right? It's interesting, right? Because let's not forget the earlier chapters of this part 2 that were very, very bad for Denji, right? But then now we're kind of seeing there's 2 points to him, and he is a recovering addict in a way. You know what I mean? He's gonna have his bad days, but first page of this chapter, he's wait a minute. I love this because you can just feel the trauma, the Makima trauma coming out here. He's wait, I promised myself I wouldn't just do this mindless obedience shit. I wouldn't do the dog thing, right?
Right.
And you can tell that I like that. I like that a lot because he's very self-aware now. He's wait a minute. This was my whole issue with Makima. I shouldn't fall into this. And he's but any request. And I like that because you can feel him, and we know what he ends up picking at the end, but you can feel the temptation. He's pussy. Or do the Riz move? Do I do the Riz move and get another date, or do I just get? Because really,
guys, because he said it.
What? I said it.
I'm
sorry. Well, we haven't signed the contract yet. No, but I do love that though, right? Because think about it from his perspective. Someone who I gotta assume he doesn't have a lot of confidence in his ability to woo a woman. Although, I mean, he was pretty smooth with Rize and the whole weird flower thing.
Right. Yeah.
But I will say though, someone like Denji. Let's be honest, part 1, chapter 20-esque Denji would have absolutely just asked for puss, right? Because, I mean, that was his plan
100%.
with Makima. Yeah. So, this is insane development, and I'm very, very happy to see it. I'll let you talk for a bit.
This whole, mini arc has been a lot of development for his character. You see, he had that innate, reprehension of, do I really want to try and open up to another woman?
Yeah.
Early on. And then he slowly cracked the shell, throughout this arc, little by little here, you know what, I might give it another shot here to you're right, 100%, part 1, early part 1, Denji would have just been yeah, my wish is for sex, that 100%, that would have been all he asked for here. And then because at that point he would have experienced the kiss, the vomit, all of the vomit in this poor kid.
But I need a vomit counter. Can someone please go through? Not just Denji. I need how many times has a character vomited in this series? Give me that count. First person to give me an accurate count. And I can't corroborate that though.
You have to literally go back through the entire manga. Are you willing to do that for this bit, Red?
Someone else do it, and we'll. Oh, you know what? I wanted to shout someone out here. Finish what you're saying, but I have someone to shout out once you're done.
So, and then here in the last couple chapters, he is shown that immense growth in just from the beginning of his story to now, to where he's not asking for the disgusting thing, he's asking for a second date, which is a wholesome thing, only for him to potentially end up a weapon again.
Yeah, and we will get to that. I'm gonna save that. I am gonna save talking about that till the end, because I wanna get through the wholesome stuff first.
Right.
Okay, so here's what I need to give a shout out for, and Vex here is the one who made me aware of this. Shout out to Connor Givens. He was just or Vex was just searching through, for our videos. This guy has made a full playlist of all of our Chainsaw Man videos.
Between both channels.
Yeah, exactly. Between both channels, probably because he was like, I'm sick of fucking going between these channels. I don't know if there's some crazies out there that just likes to sit and like listen to all of them in a row in the background. Godspeed,
I do
crazy
this
son
shit with everything, man. Like, it has been my life in the last couple months. I've went through like 3 entire podcast catalogs just by that playlist feature.
Fuck yeah. But either way, Connor Givens, thank you. We'd love to. What the fuck?
What?
There's some shit beeping outside, and I'm just making sure it's. I'm sorry. I'm just making sure it's not like a fire. Like my apartment isn't on fire. This happens a lot over here. I do not like it. Anyway, I think it was like a truck or something, but I'll keep a sniff out. Anyway, so Connor Givens, thank you. Feel free to like leave a comment. We'll pin you. And that made our day. It's cool to see that. I'm still talking. Hold on. You get fucked. That made our day. It was really cool to see that people like care enough to make like fan playlists. Okay, go ahead.
You're just lucky I'm in a subby mood today.
Dude, I don't know if you've noticed. I've learned how to deal with you, Vex. I just have to appeal to your subness. I love you, buddy. I love you.
No, I actually went out and logged back into the channel Twitter. And hey, if you know this person, and this is obviously better, but I completely forgot about this thing. There's one other thing I want to get to.
Sounds like you're trying to dox him. If you know this person.
No, like if you know this person or know how to get hold of them, have them DM us on Twitter or just, reach us by our business email, which I have linked in the original channel.
What, just to say thank you?
Thank you, maybe give them a gift card or something.
PayPal them $5 for their efforts.
I have about 700 Steam games sitting in my Humble Bundle library I could give them.
All right.
Because I don't fucking use half of them.
Vex is offering gifts, Connor Givens, so get on that, I guess. All right, so what else? What were we talking? Oh, yeah. So we were talking about Denji's kind of development and like kind of leaning towards actually asking for a date rather than like sex now. And I like that a lot because it seems to me he's learned from, because, Makima, as bad as she was, and she was very bad, was not all bad. She had good points to her. Some of my favorite parts of part 1 are when she's teaching him lessons, even though it was for the sake of wrapping him around her finger, yada yada yada. But like these were genuinely good lessons, like she taught him constantly, like it's not, like sex is gonna feel better if you're emotionally attached and like yada yada, right? So like I feel like that he's taking these things to heart, you know what I mean? Like because he has been through the experience of just squeezing a tit, just. I'm trying to think. He never had sex, but obviously he had the almost Hinamo stuff. And I think he's gotten to the point where he, as tempting as it is, he has realized that, like, okay, if I want to be actually happy, just sex is not going to do it. I feel like he's able, his monkey brain neurons are able to activate just enough for him to kind of correlate the power boob squeeze to sex, right? It's like, okay, I thought boobs were going to change my life. I squeezed them. I felt an emptiness. Sex is probably going to be the same thing if I don't get an emotional attachment or do something, make it something more than just sex. And I feel like he's realized that, and I'm proud of him.
Oh, yeah. Can we just talk about how many times this poor kid has been groomed in this series?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why we love Asa. I mean, here's the thing. Asa isn't grooming him. She's just trying to kill him, right? That's different.
It's a different type of grooming.
That's not. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. But I feel like Asa is a bit more innocent, right? Because Asa isn't trying to. Asa is kind of like being strung along by the War Devil. I could see the cool thing with Asa is I could see this working out if the War Devil gets out of the picture.
Yeah, like I really do, because I do see genuine chemistry between them, and also if he isn't dead.
I mean, we will talk about that, that's for sure. Branching off of that into the War Devil, loving the War Devil's character more and more, there's something that we kind of speculated about this, but now it's confirmed, and I love it. Because they share a brain, they do feel the same emotions. So,
yes.
We talked about, I fucking love this. We talked about this earlier, how Yoru is the War Devil, Kratos, gods of Olympus. Are you not entertained? The War Devil was acting a lot like a hormonal teenage girl, right? We talked about this, and I was like, well, maybe it's because, maybe she's getting like some side effects from the hormones and being in her brain, right?
They're a bitch.
Confirmed, right? So now I love this so much because she's in Asa's brain. Yoru is in love with Denji. She has the same feelings. So she's like,
I'm going to utilize this and make this a stronger weapon because I too will also feel bad for killing this one.
Which is so interesting because, like, first of all, I love that because, like, Asa, my beautiful autistic queen, I love her so much. Like, it's interesting because, like, I couldn't have predicted her falling in love with Denji like this quickly 2 chapters ago, and yet it makes sense because I can't really put it into words, but the way that Denji has treated her, it's like, I think it's really nice for her because, like, I don't know how do I want to word this. I don't know if I can even word it, but, like, their autisms are, like, clicking together like a finely tuned clock. You know what I mean? Like,
and that is extremely important for somebody who's neurodivergent.
Yeah, and she's so bad at, like, I don't know, portraying emotion outwardly. I think that's one of the reasons why people, like, think of her as a freak, right? Like, almost every panel, she's, like, very vacant, starey, yada, yada, yada. But Denji, I think probably one of the first time, because we've all had this before, when someone, like, enjoys your neurodivergent quirks, right? Like Allie will be like, no, I love hearing you talk. You know what I mean? Like, we like to go on about our hyperfixations and talk for, like, hours about One Piece or something. And then, most people will be annoyed by that, but, like, when you find someone who loves that, that's an incredible feeling. So she, last chapter, had Denji say a positive thing about things that she typically finds negative about herself. Denji says, how did he word it? He said something like, what did he say again? I need to go back and find it. It was something like, you're fun to, like, you say crazy things like they're normal, or I need to find it again, what he said. Hold on. Do you remember what he said?
I do not.
All right, let me go back.
My brain is an eternal pile of goop the last, like, 3 months.
Is it ever not a pile of goop? That's my question. Because, like, I genuinely, all memeing about drinking 8 energy drinks a day, Vex, I do genuinely worry about you. Can you like, take care of yourself a little bit? No, for real.
Red is referring to a tweet I put out about possibly having to have my gallbladder removed, and you're over here shitting on the fact that I drink a lot of energy drinks, but, like, I've been so
I'm not
dependent.
shitting on it. I'm just scared for you, man.
Oh, and it is a valid concern in a way because I've been dependent on energy drinks for the entirety of since they were a thing.
I definitely know how hard it is to get off of, like, an addiction. Like, my addiction's always been food, right? And, like, I'll kind of wane and, like, I'll go up and down with how good I am about it, but, like, it's like a one step at a time thing, right? Cold turkey will never work. Just like if you're
no.
Here's try this. If you usually drink 8 a day, do a week of drinking 7. Then do a week of drinking 6.
Dude, I've done that before, and it's a lot of going back to, like, a night shift is very difficult for somebody who already is eternally tired. And how far into the video are we?
Doesn't matter. I don't care about algorithms or getting paid.
Okay, so it's been about a decade at this point.
Is it suicide time? Are we talking about suicide?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's been a decade at this point. So about a decade ago, I hit a really rough patch in my life, and I became super addicted to Coke.
Yeah, Vex has been through. I've never tried weed and only started drinking like a year ago, and Vex has, like, tried almost everything under the sun. He's had a life.
No joke. Very real talk here. Like, if it is anything besides meth or heroin, I've used it. At some point in my life. And I joke about, like, acid and shit on stream and how it actually is, like, something that I very much wish that we could go into, like, experimentation with that as an alternative to forcing 1,000 opioids down teenagers' throats to deal with ADHD. I would very much like to have, like, those types of studies to where we could actually look for alternatives for that. But no, like, when you're curing an addiction, you tend to replace that addictive substance with something else. So for like, I used to be a pack-a-day smoker.
Oh yeah, chewing gum. I know. I've seen that a lot with smokers.
A lot of people use chewing gum. I used vape.
My dad got fat as fuck when he quit smoking. He got real fat for like a year or two.
Like that's why I had that big period of where I like blew up in videos as I was quitting smoking.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, right? Because I noticed that too. That like I don't, like, because dopamine is a thing that people can get addicted to as well, right? That's kind of like where like adrenaline junkies come from and shit, right? So like I notice when I'm happy, right, and I get
you're
my
addicted
dopamine,
to the feeling.
No, that's not where I'm going. When I'm happy naturally, I don't eat as much. When I am binge eating, it's usually and binge masturbating. It's usually because I feel like I have a dopamine deficiency and I'm like trying to get it artificially, right? So like for example, one of the happiest times I think we've talked on this channel before about the importance of like walkable cities and how nice it is to be able to like take a walk to your nearby grocery store and like take a walk to like a nearby park and like not have to drive fucking everywhere.
Yep.
And like there's like communities. So like I lived in Grand Rapids. It's the second biggest city in Michigan. And I used to like live right in the city, and it was so nice. And like regardless of what you hear about cities, there are bad cities, there are bad parts of cities, but you can live in good parts of cities. And I lived in a very good part of the city where I could like I had like.
And I live in the very opposite of that.
Well, get good, scrub. No, I'm just kidding. But I lived like 5 minutes away from a gorgeous park and like 10 minutes away from like a whole ass ramen restaurant, like authentic ass ramen.
Yep.
I could walk 10 minutes one way to like a fresh bakery and get like a fresh donut, 10 minutes another way and find like a comic book shop. It was fucking paradise.
It really is. Like I love downtown GR.
Oh yeah, it's phenomenal. And like keep in mind this is when I lived with like 5 dudes because I was so poor that I was trying to have as low rent as possible. But it didn't matter because I only ever used that place to sleep because anytime I got home, I would take a walk somewhere. And like, dude, when I lived there, I was skinny as fuck. I was happy as fuck. And like, what the fuck is that noise? Uh-oh.
Like you cut out for me for there for like 5 seconds.
I had like the beep disconnect. Either way, I'll finish this up real quick. I was just saying like I was at my lowest weight. I was super happy. And like I didn't feel like I had to eat a lot because I was able to occupy my time with other stuff, right? And like as happy as I'm like super happy living here with Allie, but I'm a lot more disconnected from places that I can like take walks naturally. So I noticed that I eat more. You know what I mean? So like I do think that a lot of it has to do because like you live in a terrible place, Vex. I mean like in terms of for like mental health, like I wouldn't want to take a walk there at all. I feel like if I took a walk where you're living, I'd get shanked. Like a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but I wouldn't be entirely
not
confident.
Entirely off though.
We found a heroin needle on the ground next to my car once.
Yeah. No, like about 2 years ago, there was a shooting like literally right in the hallway going to my laundry room.
The laundry room, bro. And like for that 2 months that I lived with you, I was so scared to go down and do my laundry.
I'm just like, I hate it here, but at the same time, like it's such low rent that, and also like I'm literally feet away from a gun at all times in my apartment, so I'm not as concerned about that aspect.
I'm just telling you from my own experience, and like obviously easier said than done. You got to have the money for the rent, yada yada. But like you would be so much happier in like a place, like a walkable environment, right? Like a place
like there.
Yeah.
Like I'm bouncing between the ideas of immigration the more that our country deteriorates. And then
sorry, good.
And then there's I can afford it with the job I have now, or like any job that I would get with my experience now. But there's a fucking like loft style apartment like right downtown that's like 5 minutes away from the bar, 5 minutes away from like the fucking Studio Park Theater there. Yes. Like
that's my best piece of advice I can give to anyone. Get a place where you can walk to almost anywhere you want to go. Not that like you'll never drive. Driving's fun, obviously, but like you shouldn't have to drive.
Well, some of us drive.
Sure, right? Yeah, but like
princess baby.
Biggest, yeah, you are. Biggest fucking piece of advice I can ever give you: live in a place that's like right next to a park, and not like one of those shitty like I don't know, parks that's like 10 feet across. No, like a beautiful park with like a nature trail. Live in a place where you can walk to a park. That will decrease your depression. That will make you get natural exercise. Yeah, anyway. So
I don't know how healthy it would be to me 5 minutes away from a bar.
Yeah, maybe not. Honestly, you need to save money. Because like I know, because you don't pay a lot of rent in your current situation, right?
I don't pay any rent. Exactly. I just pay utilities.
So what you should be doing is not, because I see you fucking buying shit on Amazon all the time. I understand how tempting that is.
$200 mic in the mail right now.
Exactly. I understand how tempting that is when you have money when you feel like you have money to spare because you don't have to pay rent. But like when your parents are gone, my guy, you should. I just hope you're saving in the background. Like you should be up to like $10K by the end of like 2 years. You know what I mean? Like with not having to pay rent, you should have like a nest egg.
Like. I set aside, when I was separated from my last job, I set aside everything I had invested in that job's 401k because I cashed it out.
Good thinking.
So, like, I'm on an unpaid leave next month. Like, I'm not happy I'm on unpaid leave, but at the same time,
if you can afford it and you need a mental health break, I totally get that.
Yeah, I'm not going to be sweating for money, but it's going to be close just because I've depleted a bit of it reinvesting in the channel and in streaming and having to surprisingly buy a new mic because I have this nice little buzzing feature that Red bitches about.
It's been working all day today. I really don't think it's your mic. I think it's whatever's connecting it.
I've bent the USB port in it when I moved.
Whatever you're using right now is working fine. I tell you every time, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, well, I'm already investing in streaming again for the third channel, so I might as well buy like a adjustable like studio quality mic because I have one that I use for vocals, and I have it tuned in the software for that. I don't want to have to retune that, but I want one similar to it, but different enough to where like it will actually have like good audio quality for podcasting and everything that we do.
Nice. Hey, moving back to Chainsaw Man, but before that, shout out to that guy like 3 months ago that made that comment about like, God, these guys are great, but if only they stopped talking about their personal lives so much, no one cares.
Right.
Okay, so anyway, I found it, by the way. He says, what you say is totally boring, but you're interesting to watch. And I'm starting to like, here's my personal headcanon interpretation of like what she loved so much about that line. Because what is, like when a neurodivergent person does masking, what do? They try to they mask. They try to say, hello, how's the weather? They're saying boring stuff, right? So she is masking her real self, I think. She's trying to mask so hard, and Denji's picking up on that. Like, you're saying boring normal shit, but your mannerisms, you can't hide the autism from me. I see the mannerisms. And like I feel like in that statement, what you say is totally boring but you're interesting to watch implies that like Denji would like to see the real self. And then right after he says you're being boring, she does, remember, she starts going power mode. She's like, yes, I am charming, yes! Like, you see almost her real self come out there, you know, like, I feel, you know, not inhibited by, like, feeling the need to mask. And I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's another thing, like, I've talked about it before as well, like, before we started this channel, like, I very much was, like, in a unmasked state, just getting, you know, clean, trying to do a lot of different things with my lives. And I kind of like every person I met up until like going to college and meeting you and reconnecting with, you know, parts of the community here, like masking was like a very, very big thing for me. And I relate a little bit too much to that side of the autism that Alice has got going on.
She increasingly is such a good, like, okay, pages 2 to 3, man, on this new chapter.
Yeah.
Go there. When she's like standing off. Are you looking at her?
Yeah, right here.
What a woman, bro. Like, not even being a perv. I love strong women characters, bro. So like, oh my God. I love her character so much. It's the same again, not even sexual. I'm taking the sexuality out of this. I love strong female characters so much. And God, it sounds like I'm fucking like, look at me, I'm a progressive. But no, like, I love seeing, because
it really does help when they're written well and as if they were an actual person
you just don't see it very often, and it's so fucking refreshing. And like, okay, so I've been obsessed with Soul Eater recently because I missed that train. I missed that train hardcore. I'd never watched it in the OG days. And
Fire Force got you into it. Yeah, then I loaned you when you were here, like some of my Perfect Edition volumes.
Yeah, and I've been buying the post anime content, right? Because the anime has like an anime only ending. So like, what was I gonna say? Maka, incredible. Maka might be one of my favorite main characters. And there's nothing even like that special about her. Nothing that makes her stand out like crazy. She's just such a. she just feels like a real person. You know what I mean? Like for a female main character of an anime.
You see why I said I prefer her over Ruby, though.
Oh, absolutely. Of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any issue with Ruby. I think Ruby degrades as the series goes on because the series gets worse, but like seasons 1 through 3 Ruby is fine. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. It's been
Maka gets even better as a character as she goes too, and that's a trend that I really feel like a lot of mangaka fall in. Is like once they start powering up their character, they become more boring and more bland because there's no challenge. But in Soul Eater, there was always a challenge for Maka.
You know what I really appreciate too, Maka. Because it's kind of a balancing act when you're writing a powerful female character, because like I think someone who's got good intentions but isn't like super tactful about it will just make them like macho, like I'm a girl but I'm muscly and I'm a man,
Miss
basically,
Marvel.
right? Like hold on. Miss Marvel, yes, to an extent. I'm thinking more like trying to think of a good example. You know, like, and there's nothing wrong with these types of characters.
I'm thinking more of the TV show than the actual comic book too.
Oh, that's fair. I'm thinking like when they make a girl that's just like her whole thing is like I'm muscly and tough, but it's like no, like you can actually kind of stretch that middle line where there's still like a woman, because most women aren't muscly and tough, right? They can be, but like, you know, most aren't. And like, so you can write a woman who is
give me a girl like that, chiseled 6-pack.
Here, so like something I like how Maka is written, because Maka is she still has like feminine moments, right? So she'll still have like, she has a lot of moments with Soul, where Soul will say some dumb shit and she's like, fucking boys, right? Because like preteen girls, you know, that's kind of the dynamic, like, oh my god, boys, or like cooties, lol, you know what I mean? Like there was a moment I was just reading yesterday where the I don't remember his name, but the character with the 2 little girls as the weapons, Pot of Thunder. Nope. No, he has Tsubaki as a weapon. I'm talking about the black character. I don't remember his name though. It sounds bad. That's why I didn't want to say that. His minor characters are not developed very well in Soul Eater, I'll be honest.
No, that's only Strive within Fire Force,
you
dude.
You don't remember Pot of Thunder? Like the 2 little girls? Like they're very...
No, I don't.
Man, you're Mr. Soul Eater. Suck my dick, fake fan.
You think I remember every minor character in fucking every series, man?
Or here. What's his fucking name?
Pot of Thunder. Soul Eater.
Look up Pot of Thunder, Soul Eater, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. That's one of his weapons.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Killik Rung? What are these fucking names, dude? You see him? Killik? Killik.
Yes. Oh, like, Killik, fucking, that just goes into my brain because of Soul Calibur. Not Soul Eater.
But either way. So there was like a scene where they were talking about going on like a mission to fight like a giant or whatever, and then they were gonna fight him, but then the giant just like wanted to dance, so they were like, we were about to fight him, and then we just ended up dancing like because they had like no shirts on, and they were like, the giant wanted us to take our shirts off. I couldn't tell you why, but we solved it peacefully. And then Soul, it looks to Maka. They just got back from like a super hard mission. They're like, man, I knew we should have picked that one. And then Maka's like, what is it with boys and always wanted to get naked? So, like, I just appreciate that. Like, Maka it rarely comes up in her character. Like, it's rarely like, ooh, I'm a girl. But like, she's written differently enough. She's not just written like a boy, right? She's still written like a girl, but like a real girl. Like a girl that isn't just, haha, flowers, pretty makeup. You know what I mean? Like, compare her to like Sakura, whose first major conflict in the whole series is like, I want that boy. Oh, I want that boy. I'm going to cut my long hair to show that I'm not girly anymore. I'm going to fight Ino and have a slap fight, basically. You know what I mean? I love Maka so much. Anyway, Asa 2, phenomenal. I'm so happy we're in the era of, like, well-written female characters.
Yeah, 100%. Can we talk about Yoshida's face on the same,
the Yoshida is the next thing to talk about. This man is sus, okay? Imposter, he's venting, all of the above.
Ren with the Among Us references. I think you played it more than any of us on this channel.
I played it once.
You played it once?
One time. I was at a fucking, it was a party with Catherine and Andrew and their friends, and they all had it on their phones where you could, like, connect and, like, play it. That was the one time I played it.
Jesus Christ! I must have streamed it like 4 or 5 times. I thought you would have played it more than
No.
Uh,
I don't like mobile games, like those types of games. It was fine. It wasn't my type of game though. No, dude, Yoshida. This
he is
this
a conniving little shit.
This look he gives to Famine, right? Famine. What's going on here? Okay, because like there's so much you can read so much into that, right? Because like one could just be so he's like aware of her. And like so, either it's like
right.
you could look at it. In
enemies to lovers arc. Enemies to lovers arc.
Sure, but Yoshida will fuck anything. Clear. Look at this man. Look at the eyes he's giving. He'll fuck. He's like, this is how we're gonna defeat the concept of famine. I'm gonna fuck her.
If there's anybody I could cosplay both socially and looks wise, it's Yoshida.
I'm gonna fuck famine into submission. The concept of famine. You think you need Chainsaw Man to get rid of famine? Nope. You just need this fucking dick. All right, so Vex, I would like you to cosplay Yoshida, but it's very important that you get like a plushy tentacle to stick out of like your sleeve, okay? Because because otherwise Yoshida just looks like a schoolboy, okay? You need to be Yoshida and have a fucking plushy tentacle.
Not just a schoolboy. The Link with this in the back of the classroom smoking a blunt.
Hell yeah! Oh my god. Anyway, so. So you can kind of look at this look that he gives to Famine in a couple ways, right? Like the innocent way is just like he notices her, and it's like one of those, and his job is to protect / watch over Denji. So he's like looks at her and he's like, "Hey, you back off, bitch," right? But I've also seen people thinking, okay, maybe he's like the Makima of this part, where like it's gonna be revealed that he's evil, or he's doing something else, or he's in leagues with her. This look, it's really hard to tell because it could be like a we'll try again later look. It could be a back the fuck off look. I don't know. I mean, what's your take?
I think it's a little bit of that. I think it's also like he's aware that there were other horseman style devils floating around.
I didn't realize he was so powerful. I mean, I guess he did tango with fucking
Quan, yeah.
I really need to go back and reread that fight because like
I want to see that animated so bad, that fucking fight where he's just fucking like, well, gotta do my duty, dusts his shoulder off and runs back.
That's the only part of that fight I remember is him getting knocked out of the fucking building and running back up the stairs. She's like, "You're back," and he's like, "Yep."
I'm here. I'm getting paid, and I'm
paid pretty decently here.
And a woman's kicking my ass. This is playing into a lot of other things I'm learning about myself. Let's go another round.
I could see you. Yoshida's the ultimate switch. I could see him anything to pleasure the woman. He'll take anything. I need to go back. I really do. I'm gonna in my own time. I'm gonna go reread all the Yoshida parts because clearly he's gonna be important in this part.
Right.
Let's see here. So yeah. What else does Yoshida do here? Okay. I mean, we talked about him getting these panels where he's like, "I got the penguin," and then like this aquarium worker taking the penguin back, and he's like, "Oh." No.
He must die a brutal death now.
He's so sad. What else? We also have everyone sees. Yeah, I know it's pretty sad. Everyone sees Asa kicking ass. And obviously people aren't being astute enough to realize that it's like War Devil inside of her. So like, although we have Fake Sawman, that power could it be? So maybe he knows some shit. I still think Fake Sawman, remember my initial thing about him having a contract with Justice Devil? Because now we have so many devils in the mix. We got War Devil, we got Justice Devil, we got Famine now, we got Octopus Devil with Yoshida. There's a lot of fucking.
I'm so used to them dropping like flies,
I know. I think he's holding himself back. But real quick before I forget what I was saying, I do think that the Fake Sawman here, that's I don't know what his fucking name is, but student council president for people that don't know what we're talking about. I do think, remember my initial thing was maybe he's got a contract with Justice Devil and that's how he has his Chainsaw Man powers, but then he was like, "Oh no, it's a surgical prosthetic thing." Maybe he was lying because like that power could it be? That line there makes me think that he's thinking like, "Oh my god, does she have a contract with Justice Devil as well?" Because like I don't think he knows that it's War Devil, but he's clearly like picking up like, "Oh, she's got like a devil thing going on."
Right. Like there's got to be something else to that. Because it's Fujimoto, like it could also mean nothing. It could be like literally like he's just a simp for Chainsaw Man. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. I like this line as well, where we see Yoshida use Octopus Devil to fuck up the Eternity Devil, and he says like, "I need you to die. Thanks though. The sky has never looked more beautiful to me. You taught me to appreciate it." Which is like, that's true, man. I mean, like, You never know how much you love it until it's gone. It's like when winter fucking blocks the sun for like 3 months. You're like, oh, I need it back.
Like, I hate the extreme heat, but I also hate the extreme cold. Give me a temperate, like 60 degrees all the year, please. That's the one thing I'm hoping for with like global warming is it's just like 60 all the time. That'd be perfect.
Hopefully a nice middle point where the winters are lovely and then the summers are actually excruciating and people are dying in the fucking streets. Wait a minute, that's not what I want. But anyway, we have this moment here where, you know, hey, go on another date with me. I'll teach you how to have the best dates ever, right? And I like this a lot too because Asa, we see what her idea of like a successful date is because she's so disgustingly autistic. And I know that sounds rude. I mean, like, my beautiful girl is autistic. Anyway, as a fellow autistic, because her idea of a date was literally like, I will read off the Wikipedia page and he will be impressed with me. And Denji is like evil fucking Knievel. Denji's gonna fucking take her to like a skate park and like, all right, we're gonna set up like a fucking custom ramp made out of plywood and we're gonna film it and put it on my TikTok. And we're gonna say, what's up? This is Denji and Asa and we're Jackass. And that's what they're gonna do. Mark my words. And it's gonna be like a moment where
I want that now. God damn it.
It's gonna be a moment where I think she kind of learns to like let loose and have fun because like that's so opposite of like her. It's like another version of like you remember when Yuko made her chase after her with her shoes, right? It's like she needs to kind of let loose, and you can tell she's someone who just goes through life at like minimum energy, minimum emotional output. She's like, oh, hello, okay, yes, because she's like scared to show, almost in a way it reminds me of Mob from Mob Psycho. Scared to show emotions, scared to like take off the mask, you know, because in fact, I'm actually like retroactively reading into this. You remember a couple chapters ago where she's like, oh, I can't eat fish. That was a moment where the mask slipped. She let herself be a little honest and was like, I can't eat fish, they're gross. And everyone was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then you see the mask go right back on, right? So like this is, I think with Denji, she's really going to be able to like let that mask off. And I love that. Because like, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's very unique that like finding the character that can actually mesh with you to where you can actually let that off.
It's a lovely feeling.
With Denji and her, like, they mesh so well that she can be vulnerable again. Instead of like being judged immediately for saying that fish were gross, you know, that's a moment where somebody's like,
yeah, because he's the one that came up. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm just trying to add to it because you're right. Because like everyone else was like, you fucking needy bitch with the fish thing, and he's like, oh well, maybe you can eat starfish. I'll cut it open and I'll help you boil it and we'll cook it together and I'll eat it with you. Like that was a genuinely nice gesture, and I don't even think he wasn't even like trying to be nice. That was just Denji being Denji, and I love that.
Yeah.
And then so like, now of course
he's so used to being like Denji's so used to being just stuck in the corner, not having anything for himself. Like having that family allowed him to grow, and he wanted to pass that feeling on.
Yeah, and now we have two characters that are just autistic enough for each other to not immediately run away from each other, right? Because like normally Denji, he's so kind of off that like most neurotypical women I imagine would be like, right? But like Asa is off enough to like not to be able to have the patience to like actually like get to know this better side of Denji that most people don't get to see, I think. And even I was falling for it as a reader. You guys know the first 20 chapters of this part, I was like, incel, shitty Denji. And I mean, in a way that I had an immersive 4D experience because I was also writing Denji off prematurely, and y'all called me out for it, and you were right. And then, of course, now we get to this moment where War Devil's like, oh, sweet, Denji sword, baby. Now, it's probably not going to work. It'd be funny if it did. I see people on Twitter clamoring for like, it should work. That'd be a cool twist. I doubt it, but I mean, but I think we're gonna have a middle ground thing. I don't think it's gonna fully work, but I think something's gonna happen because he is immortal. I've seen like a little fan comic where she does rip out his spine, but he's like fine. He's just like, ow, put it back. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, dead blast.
And then of course that'd be the moment where she learns he's Chainsaw Man. So like, what do you think's gonna go down here?
Yeah, I think that's what we might see is that fan comic coming to life, which is really great work from the community. And I'm honestly surprised by the Chainsaw Man community. Like, it is, you know how we joke, like, the RWBY community is the horniest on the planet?
Yeah. They love Futanari. All you get on the RWBY NSFW Reddit is Futanari.
It's like,
Futanari.
Fuda with huge, ginormous fucking monster cocks.
Because all the
too.
best characters in RWBY are girls, and it's like, and a lot of people are like, well, you gotta have penetration and a good hentai.
So it's just going to be two Funinaris just raw dogging
Well, a
each
lot
other,
of time it's Futanari, but they still have like a pussy underneath their balls.
which is such
The dream,
an
of course.
awesome- Totally not foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. What are you gonna do? I don't know if there's a Fuda surgery you can get, David Rex.
I'll make it happen. I'll rob Elon Musk and make it happen.
Okay. I won't get a brain chip, but I will get a pussy chip.
Goddamn right.
Put a chip in my pussy that lets me push a button to like, because you know like the way that like you get those surgeries, don't they call it like the snip and flip, where you like fucking turn your dick inside out and turn into a pussy?
Yeah.
So like I know nothing about this, so forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, but I'm imagining like an Elon Musk pussy chip that you put in there, and like at the push of a button, it just turns. You can turn it back and forth between a dick and a pussy.
And you remember the flip head action figures from when I?
Yeah.
Well, just
I
like
know
that,
that.
just like flips out dick, flips out vagina.
Yeah. When his dick is out, he is David, but when his pussy is out, he is Vex. She is Vex. Fuck. Pronouns are hard.
Jesus Christ. You know what?
Flops
I
balls. Flops
That's
balls
actually
on
pretty-
table. Sorry, what?
That's actually pretty clever, Red.
Yeah, dude. Flops balls on table. Call me David. Sucks balls back into pussy hole. Call me Vex.
Sounds so stupidly
I'm just
transphobic.
But
I love it.
you're my friend, and I'm clearly not transphobic. No, dude, I'm just imagining, because this is like a gross Elon Musk product, it's gonna be shitty, right? So I'm imagining that like it's like a really gross
Like the
process.
Cybertruck with no safety protocol whatsoever.
No, I'm imagining like if your balls are out, right, and you push the button to turn it back into a pussy, it's like a slow process where it's like sucking it back in, like you hear like a vacuum tube start up in your like innards. It's like you just feel it.
Like
you
the
see your balls
fucking
just
thing
slow. It
that
takes like
sucks the
takes like
deposit slipped out to the fucking bank.
it takes like it takes like 5 minutes. And it's just like as your balls just like shrink back in. It's like hold on.
Sorry, I'm not horny anymore.
No, dude, that's the worst. How quickly. I don't. Women. What was it? Like the 8% of women in our audience. Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yo, thanks for sticking around. 8% of women. This is why it's so low, by the way. The 8% of women in our audience. I'll tell you, it's criminal how quickly guys lose. Like us guys can lose our boners, bro. Like it's gone like that. Like the second. Like that's one of the reasons.
Until you take a month's worth of estrogen, and then you cannot lose an erection, basically.
That seems like the opposite of what it should do.
It turns like the first month. It just turns your hormones on overdrive.
Well, women,
it's-
before we drug them and force them to go on fucking birth control, women are just as horny as us. I don't know.
Right.
That's the real conspiracy out there, boys.
So-
women are horny as fuck until people are like, get on birth control, become a zombie.
So like the way that my clinician explained it to me is like, not only are you going to be the normal amount of horny you are as, you know, biological male, but you're also going to be like
You're gonna be women horny and male horny at the same time.
You basically are, but
You're gonna wanna impregnate and be impregnated at the same time.
I hate how accurate that is,
Bro, David, Vex, I'll impregnate you, babe. Get over here. Come on. I got a dick
coming
to hop
soon to
on.
OnlyFans.
Bro, come on, man. You look womanly enough. Put a fucking bag over your fucking face.
Whoa!
That bussy be looking good.
But no, like,
No, you are not going past this.
so like it's tying into that. Like, I would
He's
basically
going
be on.
past this. He's trying to pretend like I'm not right here with a dick ready to hop on.
But like,
Oh my god! I'm not kidding. Get over here.
No,
No,
means
I just
no.
wanted you to fucking acknowledge it. Like, I will not be ignored.
So, basically, I'd be like the equivalent of like a 13-year-old just starting puberty.
Oh, dude, that must be fun. It must make you feel young again.
It's hell, Red. It's hell.
Well, proud of you, buddy. All right. Anyway, so I think we've talked about everything in the chapter. Do we have final thoughts? Do we have anything else?
I have a request for the Control Cast community if you made it this far. I want a fan art.
No, don't do this again. I'm not paying any more money.
I will PayPal for this one,
Okay.
personally. I want a fan art of Dingy Spinal Cord Sword, but he's talking like Deadpool.
I need you to explain more because if I don't get it, I don't think they'll get it.
So basically, like when Deadpool gets decapitated, his head still talks. I want Dingy
that
still talking.
That exists, my man.
What?
You don't
That
need to pay
exists?
for that. I'm pretty sure I've seen that. Just go to the Chainsaw Man right now. I guarantee. If you're gonna ask for something better than that. Because we have a guy we can ask for. His art's hanging up on our little virtual wall. The porn guy. You got to ask him for something.
I have other requests. DM me at Control K1.
Hold on, wait. I need to remember what that guy's name is again. Do you remember?
I do not.
This is fucked up.
Right now.
We need to. I mentioned his art. I have to fucking say his name.
Yeah,
that's artist protocol.
It's like 5-6 reviews ago. You can easily go fucking.
I know he's on our follows. Surely I follow him. Surely. All right, talk a little bit while I'm looking for him.
I followed a lot of artists in the last like month and a half.
No, my internet's struggling right now. All right, there we go.
My internet's been struggling too tonight. Like I was installing Uncharted and like what would normally be like a 20-minute install on my fucking fiber here.
Oh.
It was saying it was like fucking 13.5 hours to install the fucking game. I'm like,
oh, that's fun.
Fuck, man.
What do we remember anything about? Oh, Rios. Rios.
I feel bad.
Yeah, it's Rios. No, it's Rios. It's Rios, and he's on hiatus. But he'll come out of hiatus for us because we're that important.
I have other requests.
Shout out to Rios. Yeah. Just go message him, bro. He's got a Patreon. I'm gonna click on the Patreon right now. See what you got.
And we're simping for our followers
right
now.
For the new audience that doesn't know what we're talking about here, that porn on our wall, it's done by Rios. He's got 0 patrons and $0 a month. Vex, you know what to do. Throw him at least $1 a month. You can do that. I know you can do that. I know you can afford that.
What are his tiers?
Okay. $1 a month is polls and fan engagement, access to Discord community and general support. $5 a month is access to full resolution, CGs and variants, general support, and everything in the previous years. And $10 a month is CSP PSD project files, CSP/OBS timelapse videos, and everything else in the previous tiers.
It's pretty dope, actually. It's really affordable.
We love him. He drew us porn. You must send him money, all of you. Send him money now. No, I'm just kidding. Only if you want to. But Vex,
and while we're in shilling things, the streams come back January 28th on Control Chaos Studios.
Wow. Go enjoy Vex's streams where he's not funny at all without me because he needs me to be funny.
I do not need you to be funny.
I don't know. I kind of rein it in.
I have really gotten a lot better as I've been streaming a lot more. But
he's got a Twitch too. Rios97. No, fuck you. I'm talking about Rios. You should fucking collab with dude. That's what you need to do. Get Rios on a collab stream.
Fine.
Introduce him as the guy who drew us fucking double teaming Makima. That's what you got to do. Absolutely. Rios, if you're watching, hit up.
I'd be down.
I'll join that stream. I want in that stream if you get Rios in. That's gonna be a good ass stream. It'll be like Red and Vex play a game while Rios draws more lewds. And we have like split screen, like the lewd being drawn and us like raging in some shitty game.
I'd be down for that. That'd be fun.
And of course, you will be rewarded handsomely, Rios. We would never ever expect you to draw art for free.
Oh no, dude! I just dropped $300 for a new banner from the main channel for season 2 of the podcast.
$300 coming from.
I am not saying I'm going to drop $300. Fuck you, Red.
$300 whole dollars.
That was a cover photo for
but you could get that maybe. Why don't you get You should get an SFW version of the cover photo where we're all naked.
I would need express consent from everybody else on that banner.
Yes. Anyway, okay, moving on. Final thoughts and predictions.
I picture Deadpool Dingy here because he's immortal.
Mm-hmm.
Or this works and we are dead one main character.
Or
those are my.
That'd be crazy. Yeah. Hunter x Hunter style. We just switch over.
I mean, it would also make sense because at this point, Well, no, actually, Denji's arc isn't fully
Yeah,
realized.
no, there's more to see from Denji. I think that would be stupid. He can die at some point, but it should be later. What I will say though, I can also see a third option where nothing happens, and like, maybe because maybe there's like a rule where like, because do we know if she can turn another devil into a weapon?
I do not think
So
it's
maybe
been
it'll be like a
stated.
situation where it's like, oh, he's a hybrid. Like she tries to turn him, it doesn't turn, and immediately Yoru's like, oh, this is Chainsaw Man. Like I could tell from touching him. You know what I mean? Something like that. And then Denji will just be like, oh, you giving me a head pat already? That's nice. Because it looks like she's just like head patting him. So like if nothing happens, Denji might just be like, oh, thanks for the head pat.
Aw, thank you for validating our date. That's so sweet. And can I get a kiss?
Yeah, no, I think even Denji's being a good boy. He's not asking for a kiss. I'm so excited for him.
Right?
Everyone knows that kiss is second or third date. You never do not kiss first date. That's too much.
I'm the type of person that usually fucks on the first date, so I can't say anything here.
And shocker that none of your dates work. Sorry, that was mean, but true.
I'm a whore. What can I say?
You have two choices, Vex. You can be patient and have a relationship that works, or you can fucky wucky and break up with them in 3 months. Okay, as long as you're happy with that one, you can keep doing it, but don't expect.
See, it goes in a cycle. I get my dick wet.
Uh-huh.
I just
you think you've fallen in love. 3
I
months
think
later,
I've
you
fallen
realize
in
you
love.
haven't.
and it's just lust, and then usually it's a messy breakup where I spiral into alcohol.
And then you pass the bitch to one of your friends, and then never talk to them again. But you both the friend and the bitch.
No. And then that friend gets married to my ex. 7 months into a relationship, you try to coach them on, hey, maybe
real.
you're rushing this a little too much, and then they get pissy about it.
Yeah, no, this is real. This is real. Tune into One Piece. For his perspective. Anyway, no, we will not be. I'm not dragging on this fucking drama. We will not be talking about you over there. I swear to you.
I wouldn't care either way because I don't watch our own content.
Oh, dude, I didn't do it, but I have an outtake where I was going to do a thing where, like, before I called you, I was going to be like, Vex has a small little baby dick. This is a test to see if he watches the videos, and then I was going to call you and just start. But I did not do it, but, like, I was considering it.
Hey, fuck you, Frank.
All right, boys, I think we've truly analyzed every element of this chapter.
I've gone loopy, man. It's time to cut the video.
All right. Let's just say Asa is quickly shaping up to be one of my favorite main characters.
For real.
And yeah, I'm very excited. Because the crazy part, this is how good Chainsaw Man is. I'm sitting here, I'm not even like, ooh, I can't wait for more action. I'm sitting here like, I want to see them go on another date. That's what I want to see. Like, it's crazy that Chainsaw Man has, like, just as good, if not better, romance than, like, some specific romance manga. Like, I think he writes slice of life romance stuff so well.
Hey, Red, I want you to tweet this reaction image here.
Where are you saying this?
In Facebook. As for the prepping for the review image, you've officially broke me today.
Too much calling you out. What could it be? Sorry, internet is still shitting itself. I'm trying. I'm trying. It's Skype and OBS, and all the RAM is being used right now. All of it.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay,
you're on it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm clicking it. I'm almost there. Sorry, I wasn't like trying to get your attention. I was just like reading your name out loud from Facebook. Please, it's loading. The little circle is spinning. Oh,
it's thinking.
That was not worth it, bro. It was just a picture of you fucking like biting your hand and laughing. Boring. Not worth it.
I wanted to send like a fucking like a clip like I used to do like the white girl waste. I'm like, no, he doesn't deserve that after all this shit.
White girl wasted is legendary, bro. This white girl wasted. I don't know if I can even properly describe white girl wasted with words. It was a clip that he was trying to. I think it was trying to be like a longer clip, but like his phone fucked up and it sent like a half a second, and it was like this like little like again a half a second of like some song. It's like. Like that's all you could hear, and it was just like he had like some filter on with like I don't even know if it was like a tiara or sunglasses or like a disco ball.
It was sunglasses and a disco ball on
Yeah.
Facebook Messenger.
And it's like the clip's a half a second, and he's got like a bottle of some kind of alcohol, and he
Speck of vodka. I was balling real big then.
and it's just like the tiniest little clip of him just like bumping this
Vibing.
music. It really caught me off guard. That's gotta still exist somewhere. I think I sent that back to like our edits chat a long time ago. I'll see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it. If I can, I'll put it up. All right, boys. Goodbye? Question mark?
Peace.
Damn, dude. Peace. Yeah, I guess.
How long was that?
It's still going. I haven't pushed stop recording yet.
How long is it?
Right now it's 104.21, 104.22, 104.23, 104.24, 104.25, 104.26.
Bye. It's not 1 day shipping, Red.
I'm not
gonna say it's not 1 day
Hold on.
shipping.
Wahaha, you're arrested.
Sure, we'll go with that.
He doesn't have the keys. We can't actually put them on him. These are real.
They are actual legitimate law enforcement.